can't just think about your family. Now you have to think bigger than that.
Stay, Dad.
I love you forever.
We got farther than any human in history.
Hang on!
Well, really, the main differences are, Jonah was writing a script where I think, in the middle of the film particularly, there were a lot of incredible ideas, but more ideas than I would ever be able to put forward in one film. It would have been 8 hours long, I think. So my job was to come on and really say, this is the bit of it I want to follow, and I think I followed the human story very tightly, and I made a simpler story and a more stripped down story in the middle of the film that has symbolic power, hopefully. I wanted to tell an adventure story along the lines of, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, something like that, about mankind in a hostile environment. Well, really the challenge was to try and achieve the sort of intimacy that we get with our 35mm shots. Because they're very big, very loud cameras. It's an unwieldy format. So you really have to find ways, my DP, Hoyte van Hoytema, found incredible ways of just using the camera handheld, of just getting in there, strapping it to people's bodies, to the sides of the ships, things like that. We really tried to use it like a GoPro camera or something, really be very versatile. It certainly wasn't easy, but I was very, very pleased with the results. Well, I use film because it's the best imaging format that you can get. So it has the highest resolution, the best color reproduction, and so I'm very passionate about trying to give the audience the best possible experience and not worrying about perceived advantages of video technology. Like, I don't know, speed or smaller cameras. I'm making big films with big resources, and so I feel like we really need to give the audience the best, and the film is the best.
Sure. And then
I think the connection really is about time and the concern with time and variable time. And Inception is very much an inward-looking film about worlds within worlds. And I think Interstellar is sort of the opposite. It's like looking down the other end of the telescope. Well, I mean, there are so many, and as a parent, as parents, we all find so many different challenges and concerns. But one of the common ones, and it's very relevant to Matthew's character of Cooper in Interstellar, is the idea of trying to balance telling your children the truth and the truth of the world, but allowing them to feel safe and protected. And that it's a very difficult balance to strike, and one that his character is particularly tested with, because he's asked to say goodbye to his young children and go off and save the world. I think the relationship between the films is interesting, because I love Linklater's film, and Interstellar, although on the surface it's a completely different type of film, but they're both very much about being parents. I think about family connections, about time and the concern with time and the poignancy and the frustrating and tragic quality of time passing, the melancholy of that. I think both films are actually strongly related in that regard. I think, obviously I've worked closely with Zach in the past on Man of Steel. He's a friend, and I think he's a terrific filmmaker, and I will certainly be first in line to see what he and Ben do.